Hey everybody, we're going to go over day one of the new topic. Basically, it is talking about data, statistics, and then we're also going to go ahead and do some graphing of graphical representations of our data set. So, first thing we're talking about is questions. All right, this whole lesson is going to be on questions, creating questions, and talking about what is a statistical question. We're going to jump right down to this part of the getting started. It says, in this module, you'll begin your formal study of statistics and the statistical process. Statistics is a problem-solving process, also called an investigative process, because the heart of statistics is about determining a possible answer to a question that has variability. So if there's a number of possible outcomes, what's the most likely outcome is basically what it's coming down to, and that's why we use statistics. So statistical problem solves with a statistical question, and that is going to be the focus of what we are going to work on today. So statistical process has four components: formulating a statistical question, collecting data, analyzing the data, creating graphs, and interpreting the results. All right. So this is going to be the journey we're going to go through the last 2 weeks of school. Today we're focusing on that question. Let's take a look at two questions from Bianca and Rehan. What clubs am I in? How many students are in the chess club? Versus what Rehan is. Rehan's question is, what clubs do my classmates belong to? How many members do clubs have at my school? There's two examples of questions. Which one is statistical? Which one isn't? I'll pause for a second while you reflect on it. And as you can see, Bianca has the thumbs down. These are not statistical questions. Rehan has the thumb up. These are statistical questions. What's the difference between the two? Well, it's the type of answer, to put it very simply. What clubs am I in? She's just going to list the clubs that she's in. There's really no variability there or difference in possible outcomes. She's in the clubs that she's in. How many students are in the chess club? That's one answer. You're not going to be able to collect a lot of data if you ask everybody how many kids are in the chess club, because if there's 10 kids in the chess club, everybody's answer will be 10. Whereas with Rehan, what clubs do my classmates belong to? We could go through all the different students in the class. We'd get a whole bunch of different clubs listed out, and we could see who has the most clubs. And then we could look at how many members there are in each club and talk about that data and compare it and see what are the most likely clubs kids will join, what clubs have about the same size, what clubs are smaller. So we can use these types of questions, statistical questions, to really pull data out so we can analyze information. All right. So there's two types of data: categorical data, and quantitative data. So, and it's just basically how it sounds. Categorical data or qualitative data, it was a piece of data that fits into one of different groups. Okay. What kind of clubs are um, are at my school, or what are the different types of clubs at my school? Okay, so you're going to talk about the chess club, and you're going to talk about basketball club, and you're going to talk about dance club, and you're going to talk about student unions and all of those things, that the different types of clubs we have. Those are categories. They're not numbers. So qualitative data or categorical data is really just if it is a category that you're collecting, we use those labels to describe it. Quantitative data is numerical data. So how many kids are in each club, right? So we're going to scroll down here and we're going to take a look. We're going to come up with a number of different questions. I have questions. I have some questions, all right? And I want you to take a look at them, and let's try to decide if these are going to be categorical or qualitative or quantitative number-wise. So let's take a look here. I'm going to go back into my folder for data and graphing. I'm going to go to my questions. So my first question is, what is your, I'm sorry, this one is not the first question. The wrong way. I said, what part of your life has been shut down? due to the or what part of your life that has been shut down due to the pandemic do you miss the most? And I gave you some different choices, right? And I had you select a choice. So right now, because it's not numbers, I know that this is categorical data. Okay. The second question I set out to everybody was, what is your height in inches? Now you're just going to enter in the number of inches you are. So right there, we know that that's going to be quantitative, or numbers is our data. And then finally, we have this last one. What is your favorite movie? All right. And you're just going to type in the name of your favorite movie. So this is going to be a category, right? It's going to be the names of the new movies are going to be the data we collect. So that's what we have right here. So let's take a look at what your job is today. We're going to go back to here and pull up today's assignment. Your job today is going to be come up with 3 questions. All right. You have to come up with your own 3 questions. I had 3 questions. You can use similar to mine. You just type them in here, 1, 2, and 3. And then I want you just to find 20 people, whether it's people in your house, neighbors, grandma and grandpas that you connect with via social media, friends that you connect with via social media. Pick one of your questions and ask 20 people, and then you're going to create a table with that. Okay. And then tomorrow I'll show you what that looks like, and we'll compare it, and we'll move on to the next step. So that is it. Good luck. Email me if you have any questions.